When someone calls you asking for money in the name of a charity, Georgia law requires them to tell you whether they're getting paid with some of your donation.
But there is a loophole in that law, one the Fox 5 I-Team discovered a local police charity knows all too well. Well, Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis returns now with his hidden camera investigation. Randy?
Yeah, Russ and Sinead, the DeKalb Fraternal Order of Police decided years ago to hire their own phone solicitors so they could better control what they say and do. But when it comes to the truth, either they don't know or they don't care.
Everybody gets to the giving away at Christmas.
Okay.
You'll make your most money in the next 3 months.
Want a job without a background check? Come work for the DeKalb Fraternal Order of Police phone room in Tucker, and you can start asking people for money to help needy kids.
You got the job. Come by tomorrow morning at 9.
We got a job 2 minutes after our undercover producer walked through the door. He never actually worked there, but we did see what donors do not.
$16.50.
How an organization made up of current and retired police officers turns a blind eye to the truth because it brings in big money.
If there's wrongdoing going on, all I can do is apologize to the community for that and fix it.
We've already reported how the DeKalb FOP raises money year-round with the promise of helping needy kids. The biggest program is Shop with a Cop, giving less fortunate children a chance to buy Christmas toys and games with donated money. In 2013, the most recent reporting year, the Lodge's phone room brought in $240,000 for those kids. But the charity's own records indicate less than 10% of that money, $23,000, actually got spent on children. The rest wound up in the paid solicitor's pockets or the FOP's bank account.
A lot of this money goes into the general account.
Right, but it doesn't. You're not pitching that. You're pitching kids, correct? Year-round.
That's the program that we're working on, yes.
The irony here is that years ago, the DeKalb Fraternal Order of Police decided to fire their outside fundraising company over allegations they were pretending to be cops. The Lodge tried for a while to do it on their own with volunteers, but they weren't very good. So they decided to hire their own paid solicitors, who quickly took advantage of a loophole in the law.
Outside fundraisers must identify themselves as paid solicitors as soon as they call a potential donor. But since these people actually work for the DeKalb FOP, they don't have to say they're getting paid unless they're asked.
Well, I mean, if someone were to contact somebody and the first thing out of their mouth is, hey, this is the percentage, it gives a bad impression.
The law requires the third-party guys to say they're paid solicitors, and they seem to be successful. I mean, you guys are cops. Why don't you go above what the law requires?
Well, there again, I think I've already answered that. That's, I think, because you've got a short amount of time.
He says they did not make the change to get around the law. Donors are not told these people get to keep 25% of the money given for needy children. The phone room manager pockets another 15%.
Some people ask, are you a paid solicitor? If they ask that, you got to tell them yes.
If they ask.
By law, okay? If they ask. And then, trust me, very far and few between.
But even when some are asked,
how are you involved in the program?
I'll volunteer.
No, this FOP fundraiser gets paid too.
And when you solicit donations on the phone, you get to keep 25%, don't you?
I think so. I'm not sure about keeping, but I don't know what to tell you there.
When you're relying on the public to ask the question, are you a paid solicitor? But even if they ask that question, doesn't sound like they're going to get the right answer, are they?
There again, you're telling me something I haven't heard.
Because you haven't been in the room.
That's correct.
Marilyn Williams says it was no secret. She worked the phones for nearly 2 years.
We lead business owners to believe that we work there for the lodge and we're volunteering.
You're just doing it out of the goodness of your heart.
Exactly.
So you think the lodge believes it's okay to trick people into donating money in the name of kids when really not much of it's going to the kids?
Obviously they do. They have to know about this. They know how much money is coming through the door.
Joe Swerble ran the phone room. The president of the Gwinnett Fraternal Order of Police says they fired Swerble for removing donor information from their office. DeKalb never bothered to check with Gwinnett before they hired him.
They have anybody work there. They don't do criminal background check. They don't do drug screening.
We got honorable mention, Lodge of the Year.
The only real volunteers are the FOP officers themselves. Wiggs says they average around 50 needy kids a year for Shop with a Cop. The remaining money kept in their bank account for future worthy programs. At the end of 2013, they had built up more than $200,000 in cash. Yet they continue to beg for money using the same pitch, pulling at the heartstrings of DeKalb's business community.
We need the help desperately.
And we do.
What's the same number? 50, 55 kids every year.
If we had the resources and if we had the officers available, we could take.
You got the money.
You know.
You got the money.
Okay, but that's.
You got the money to help hundreds of kids.
We don't like having to do this, but it's a necessary evil to make this work.
Now, the DeKalb FOP says they have temporarily shut down their phone room operations until they can conduct their own investigation. And Sinead and Russ, you may have noticed that once again we blurred the faces of the police officers in those earlier Shop with a Cop videos, because we really don't know if they are aware about how little money that's raised in those kids' names actually gets to the kids.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, it's astounding. But we're heading into the holiday season. So what's the plan for the Shop with a Cop program this year?
It's unclear right now, Sinead. I'm hoping that they go forward with it. They certainly have the money. We pointed that out in the story. They've got another 50 kids lined up and ready to go. It may be that they'll have a hard time actually getting the officers to come out if the officers realize that there's this black cloud over the program. So hopefully they can do their own thorough investigation, let us know what changes, if any, they're going to make, and then the program can continue.
Well, we heard that one officer admit that the truth would leave a bad impression if they were there.
Yeah, but as he said, necessary evil.
All right, Randy, thanks. Well,